All right, man. Give 5 reasons why I like the Lions hire Drew Petzing. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. I've just only read about him online. So, um, after some research came up about you know Drew. I mean, let me just list a few things that I heard, and I seen a lot of people have um, a lot of negative reaction because his name. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of people, go off the name brand and might be like, "Oh, Nikes are the best shoes," and it's just off of the name brand. That's one thing about the American consumer is that it's name and not substance. So many things are bought based off name and not substance. Okay, people buy $1,000 pair of shoes and it's made in the same factory as Shaq's. You know what I'm saying? They buy these $1,000 pair of jeans, and it's just as much as a $40 or $20 pair of Wranglers. That's just the society we live in, and that's real, right? So he was work with Ben Johnson at Boston College, basically off the Kevin Stefanski tree. Kevin, worked. I think they both worked in Minnesota together. Went to Cleveland. He was offensive coordinator, I believe, the last 4 years for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, to me, one thing that instantly jumped off to me was the fact that what he did with Jacoby Brissett. That's the first thing that jumped off to me. I'm like, okay, that's somebody that's a poor man's Jared Goff. Not a lot of mobility there. Good arm, pocket quarterback. Now apparently what's being said as well is that what's not being said is the fact that what's being said by Arizona Cardinal fans is that he messed up Kyler Murray. Now, the thing about that is this: Kyler Murray, this was the same guy that didn't study his playbook. They had to put a clause in his contract for him to get off Call of Duty, study his playbook. His hairdresser didn't have so nice things to say about him. Also, he just took a picture with a Mike Vick jersey on while being with a dog. So at the end of the day, a lot of these dudes are just giving shock jock reactions. All right, they're giving shock jock reactions. First and foremost, it probably feels like, oh, it wasn't who we wanted, but a lot of times it's just for content and to make money. Most of these guys will probably be eating their words if this is successful, or they're gonna be like, I told you. Well, nobody did no research. So as the research started to come in, one of the number, well, I'm not gonna say a particular order. One of the reasons I love to hire is because what he did with Jacoby Brissett. Him and Jared Goff got similar skill set, pocket quarterbacks. He's already shown the ability to be successful with pocket quarterbacks. Now, if you've seen the live, we pretty much talked about this. This is for people who don't want to watch the live. Just look at the difference in what he did with Kyler Murray. 163, 220, 159, 200, 220. You got to Jacoby Brissett, 320 yards versus Indianapolis, 279 versus Green Bay, 261 versus Dallas, 258 versus Seattle, 452 even in the blowout. I don't know how that game really went versus San Francisco, 317 versus Jacksonville, playoff team, 301 versus Tampa Bay, 271 versus Los Angeles, blowout though, 249, 203, 212, 243, right? And not really getting much rushing help, but we'll get to that. So, obviously he's shown the ability to be able to work with the quarterback with that's a similar skill set, as our quarterback. So right then and there, he's shown the ability to be fluid and fluid, or he's shown the ability to be to be able to adjust there. With Kyler Murray, he made it work. Kyler Murray, at the end of the day, I got to do a lot of things just shotgun. I got to do a lot of maneuvering and adjusting the playbook to fit his skill set. Right? But one, he's shown the ability to be successful, with a quarterback with a similar skill set behind a not so good offensive line, right? and no running game because James Conner went down. Now we're gonna hit the blunt twice and switch lanes. I don't smoke, just was cool. The Jeezy said it, right? So then you got Drew, you got him right here. He's been the coordinator for the last 4 years. You know, he was fourth in the NFL in 2023 with 139 rushing yards in the NFL. Yeah, he had a mobile quarterback. That's true. But a lot of that, I believe, might have been done with James Conner. 23 and a half points per game, 12th in the NFL 2024. And also in 2024, they had 144.2 rushing yards a game, 7th in the NFL. And this year, you know, with a pocket quarterback, you know, that he probably prefers, 232.6 passing yards, 7th in the NFL. If he had him the whole year, they'd probably be inside the top 3. So his you know, second, you know, he's had success, you know, with probably not the best weapons that he can have. You know, Marvin Harrison Jr. it just hasn't really worked out. He's up and down. You know, Trey McBride found success in his offense under his wing. Trey McBride found success, you know, under his offense. So imagine what he can do with Sam. What he gonna do with Sam Laporta? Trey McBride found a lot of success with this guy. For a little, you can say this is a sub like to the side, 2B, right? You know, he became an offensive coordinator, you know, in 2023, and Cliff Kingsbury before then. This kid had 25 catches, 210 yards, you know what I'm saying? And 1 TD. He became offensive coordinator. I mean, Sam Laporta got to be licking his chops. 81 catches, 825, 3 TDs. He just can't find the end zone. And I think that might have something to do with the quarterback, right? And I'm about to explain that point. The next year, he had 111 catches, 1,146 yards, 2 TDs. You know, but when he got Jacoby Brissett, 126 yards, 1,239 through the air, 11 TDs. So Sam Laporta, you know, a subsidiary or a bonus, Sam Laporta is about to eat. This guy knows how to get the tight end of football. According to Juan Buchanan and one of my subscribers, you know, real loyal, you know, shoot me the info. He likes to run power football. He likes to really run the ball. Okay, he likes to run the ball. That's what you have to love about it. He loves to run the ball. For the hell of it, let's just say 3. He gonna get the ball to Sam Laporta. He's good at getting the ball to tight ends. That lets me know they do a lot of things that's gonna really highlight what Jared Goff does well: play action, over the middle concepts. And I think what the Lions have compared to what they have more consistency as red zone. You got the running game. He loves to run the football. James Conner, you know, he was very, very successful. Number 4, let's talk about his ability to run the football. Now, he lost his running back, James Conner, but when he did have James Conner, and I think, you know, if they get rid of David Montgomery, you know, this is a great guy that you can slide in there. And, you know, in my opinion, he's a great character guy, the whole 9, right? But, you know, you go here, and this is a guy that's survived cancer and everything. So he got here in 2023, right? So before that, James Conner hadn't had 1,000 yards. You know, he hadn't had 1,000 yards. He's had, you know, he had 208 carries that year. He had 215 in Pittsburgh, which that's a year that looked like he made the Pro Bowl. Shout out to Dog. He made the Pro Bowl, but also you play, well, he only made the Pro Bowl with 973, 13 games. But also in addition to that, he had 479 yards out the backfield, right? That was in Pittsburgh. He got to Arizona. You know, he came to Arizona, played 13 games in 2023, you know, and he was there 2 seasons already. Soon as this guy takes over as offensive coordinator in 13 games, he has 1,040 yards, 7 TDs. Through the receiving, I don't know how effective he was receiving. He had 27 targets, 165, 2 TDs. The next season, you know, under this offensive coordinator, he had 1,094 yards. You know, 8 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He had 47 catches for 414 yards and 1 TD. So he's showing the ability also to, see, I can't see that. He's shown the ability also to run the football and also a little bit to get the running backs the ball out the backfield. This year, James Conner went down after three games. That really hurt them. So, you know, three, or is it four now? First was we talked about, prototypical Jared Goff. You know, I think third was kind of we made it Sam Laporta, and second was I don't remember what second was. Let's just say this is three. But yeah, I think his ability to run the football. I mean, that's exactly what the Lions needed. They need somebody to come in, run the football, open up. That's what when Goff is successful, they're running the football. That's every quarterback. What's the difference for Dak this year in the numbers he put up? He was able to run the football. Being able to run the football, every quarterback needs that. I'm pretty sure Jacksonville was able to run the football a lot more successful this year, and therefore they had a lot better results winning football games. The run game is pretty much paramount to what you need to do, right? So, yeah. One thing I love about him, he's a proven play caller. He's an experienced play caller. He's a seasoned play caller. He's done it, I believe they said, for 4 seasons now. 23, 24, 23, 23 season, 23, 24, 25. Excuse me. Sorry. But yeah, my bad. At least you don't hear that beep, beep, beep like you're hearing some people's shit. But yeah, he's a proven seasoned play caller. No more first time play caller. They got somebody proven. They got somebody seasoned. And that's what you want. That's what I said. They need a proven play caller, a seasoned play caller. And I've seen people reaction. I might do a video of people reaction. And most of these reactions that they had, it was minimum research. People are just reacting off the name, man. They just reacting off the name. It's crazy. But also what I'm gonna continue to say, what I really, really do like for my fifth one is that it's a fit. His philosophy is a fit for what he needs from the line, what the Lions need from him, and what he needs from the Lions. Another crazy thing about it is this. He didn't have the best offensive line in Arizona. They had offensive line trouble. They had injuries. You had a quarterback, which, a lot of people was kind of on the fence about, a little bit about his, kind of more character. Greatest, Texas football players, high school football player of all time, right? It was just questions about his character, right? But, to continue saying what I mean, we're a great fit for him because guess what? We have creativity. That's why I said you don't need a creative genius like Mike McDaniels. And I'm gonna get to a McDaniels video. He got Dan Campbell. They was pretty creative this year. Even without Ben Johnson, they was very creative. Very creative. What you got is a guy and Drew who understands, hey, I want to play heavy, smash mouth football. I want to run the football. I can get the ball to the backs, and I've shown the ability to get the ball down the field even without a run game. So now, if you give him a run game, he didn't have that with Jacoby Brissett last year, and they still found a way. So the whole thing, we need to be able to throw the football. He showed he could throw the football with Jacoby Brissett. Now you upgrade Marvin Harrison Jr. with Jameson Williams, I think Sam Laporta is an upgrade over Trey McBride. Most people may disagree, but we know what Laporta can do when he's healthy. You got Brock Wright, a good, pass catcher, but a phenomenal blocker. You got Jameson Williams, Isaac Tesla. You got Jahmyr Gibbs. And I'm gonna get to 6. You got David Montgomery. So you got a guy that really wants his foundation of his offense is to run the football. But also, he's shown the ability to get to throw the ball if need be. Also, if you feel like he's lacking creativity, the Lions are already creative. They already got creative plays. And 6, I believe this is a good sign. That might be a 7. 6 or 7 depends. I think this would be a good sign that David Montgomery is staying. One of my subs said it in the comment section. This means David Montgomery is going to stay. And I'm going to put this little caveat in there for y'all to think about watching the Bears and the Rams game, and they made a great comment. That sparked my mind. With Ben Johnson calling place in Chicago, they're the only team in the NFL this season that had 2 rushers with over at least at 750 yards rushing. So Swift was just over 1,000, and that rookie they got, whatever he was at, was over 750. So no other football team had two rushers that at least had 750 rushing yards. So I think he'd be able to integrate and implement David Montgomery back into the offense, because the foundation of what they're gonna do with this guy, what he likes to do, is run the ball football. I think too, I talked about his fluidity. So we probably at 7. And he's also shown the ability to adjust to Kyler Murray, to Jacoby Brissett. Oh, I don't have a running back. We still can be successful moving the ball through the air. But foundationally, he wants to run the football. When his golf is good, any quarterback is good is when they can run the football. So I think it's a great hire. I thought the best hire was Arthur Smith. Reading about this guy, him and Arthur Smith share a lot of similarities. It's my opinion on it. You can probably come back. Oh, CJ, you was wrong. You terrible. I told you he was trash. When I looked at it, he marked a lot of boxes and some that Mike McDaniels didn't mark. But hey, hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Peace.